How's it going, everyone? Thanks for joining me in the garage. In today's video, what I'm going to do is show you how to inspect and potentially change the belt on one of these single stage snowblowers. Alright guys, first off, thanks for joining me on this video. If you're new to my channel, I do a lot of small engine repair type stuff, and if that's something that might interest you, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you're notified anytime I put out new content. Usually I do so once a week. And at the end of the video, if you liked it, if maybe it was informative, go ahead and hit the like button, and that really helps me out on the channel. So today's project is how to inspect and potentially change the belt on one of these single stage snowblowers. Alright, so first thing we need to do is access the belt, and on most of these single stage snowblowers, the belt cover is on the side. That would be on the cable side of your machine, and in this case it has we got 6 3/8 bolts, and then there's a couple of 5/16 bolts up here on top that connect the belt cover to the plastics. These ones you actually don't have to take off all the way, or you can take them off all the way. Just loosen them up and that should slide out from there. What I like to do is kind of put the screws or the bolts in order which they came off, because sometimes they're different sizes. So I just kind of put them in the same pattern as they're coming off. And then on this one it has 2 5/16, which I'm just going to loosen. And that should slide the cover right off now. Now we have access to the belt area of this machine. Now, first thing you do is when you take the cover off, you're going to inspect the inside of the cover. And that's going to give you a little bit of an indication of what's going on. Now, it's not uncommon to go ahead and see a little bit of belt material that's built up on the inside of your belt cover. So that's just kind of normal wear and tear. If it's excessive, then that could give you a first indication that maybe there's something going on with your belt that you might need to look a little closer. So we'll just take this Toro to start off with, and this particular one happens to have a serpentine belt or ribbed belt. And first thing you want to do is take a look at the the tension on the belt. Now right now there isn't any tension, because how this belt is going to get tension is you have a tensioner here that's attached to a cable up to your handle. So when you pull the handle, you can see that tensioner engages, and then you have tension on the belt. So without actually any tension on the belt, it should be fairly loose, but this guy is actually probably a little bit too loose for my liking. And you can even see it pretty much is, it's not going to necessarily fall off. I have used this machine, but it should have a little bit more tension than this, and I'm going to address the tension aspect in a different video. I'll put a link up in the corner so you can click on that, on how to adjust the tension on this belt. Now, as these belts wear, they actually do stretch some, so this belt could have a little bit of excess stretch just due to wear, and you can usually get rid of some of that wear without having to change the belt right off the bat. And once again, you can check out my other video on that. But after you check the tension on this thing, what you're going to want to do is check the inside of the belt. Now what we're doing here is to check for any cracking that cracks all the way through, to the other side of the belt. And what I'm going to do is just kind of take this belt off here so that I can show you. All right, a little bit closer inspection here. So again, we're looking on the back side of this belt for any excessive cracking. That is going to crack pretty much all the way through. And this belt actually looks like it's in really nice shape. There is a little bit right here. You can see a little bit of a piece missing. So that's another thing you're going to want to look for is any chunks missing, because I've seen that before. And you're just looking for excessive wear. Now you might have some wear on the sides of this belt. You can see right here there's a little bit of wear mark right there. That's not too big of a deal. Alright, so you're just looking for the general overall condition of this belt, guys. So as you saw there, it was very easy to get the belt off on this particular machine. And it's pretty much the same with all the machines. Some of them are going to be a little bit more difficult because they actually has a little bit more tension on the belt. So we're going to go and check out this other machine here. This happens to be a Craftsman machine. And as you can see on the inside, it's very similar. This one also has the serpentine belt. Okay, so once again, to get this one off, you can, some of them are a little bit more finicky. You can see there's a brake right here, so you can release that brake, but the problem is it puts tension on this tensioner right here. So usually you can slip up the tensioner a little bit, then slip it off, pull the brake, you can get it off the auger side, and then usually it just slips off here on your drive side. Okay, so this particular pulley right here would actually be attached to your motor. So this is spinning all the time. There's no clutch system. This is spinning all the time as long as your engine is running. But the fact that this belt is a little bit loose means that it won't drive this pulley right here, which is your auger pulley. Okay, so same thing. You know, this belt looks like it's in really nice condition. There's no cracking, no excessive wear. Now, if you needed to replace your belt, you can either look up the part number for your particular machine through a parts diagram online, or you can usually search this number right here on your belt to get a replacement belt. Okay, this last machine is a Boland's, just made by MTD. They're very basic single stage. This one happens to be a 4-stroke engine. But once again, same sort of thing, guys. Some of them you just pull off. You can just pull it off the tensioner. And then, in this particular case, you can walk it off on this side. Now, be careful if you're spinning this, guys. If you're spinning this pulley here, which again is a direct linkage to your engine crankshaft, basically, you're going to want to make sure that you take the key out at a very minimum, or take out the spark plug, so that when you turn this over, I have the key out right now, when you turn this to maybe get the belt off, it actually doesn't accidentally fire up on you. Okay, and again, this one has that brake. You can just push that down, or pull on the handle up top. Now this belt is a V belt. It's a little bit different. But you're looking for the same things, guys. On the inside, you're looking for cracks. If you have a little bit of cracking, you're gonna want to consider replacing the belt in the next year or two. Just keep checking it every year. You can see here there's a bit of a slice on this particular one, but that's not going all the way through, so it's not that big of a deal. Again, just looking for missing chunks, just the overall condition. A bad belt is going to be pretty obvious to spot, guys. And you know, when in doubt, you know, just change the belt. They're not that expensive, and you can see it's not that difficult. In 10 minutes you can change the belt on this thing. Okay, and once again, this one might be an aftermarket or it might be original, but here's a part number anyways. You can start there, and if not, then you can look up the part online. Okay, now to get the belt back on, guys, just the opposite. Just raise the tensioner, put it on your auger side, okay, and then underneath the tensioner here, and then you can get it started on the drive side. And again, make sure your key is out or your spark plug is wire is out, and then just turn that to kind of walk it on the pulley, and there you go. Okay, and that's it. Now, once again, you're going to want to make sure that the tension is good. Some other things you might have go wrong, or some issues you might have, is sometimes the bearings on this tensioner go bad. So if you got like a squealing noise, a constant squealing noise, you could have a bad bearing on your tensioner. It also could be bearings in your actual auger system as well. Some bad bearings, sorry about the lighting, but some bad bearings in the ends of the augers. All right. Now, with this machine in particular, actually it's this Craftsman machine, when I engage the belt system on this, I get a little bit of a chirping noise initially that goes away almost instantaneously, but it's just when you engage the belt. So what I believe is going on here on that type of a system, and it doesn't happen to all, is what I believe is happening is this guy is spinning at 3,000 RPM to 3,200 RPM, okay? And with the belt on the machine, the belt is actually not engaged. And then when you pull the handle and it puts tension on this tensioner, okay, which then drives this pulley, you're trying to make this pulley, which is attached to your auger system, go from 0 to 3,200 RPM basically in an instant flash. And sometimes with some systems you're going to get a little bit of belt slippage initially, okay, until it grabs, and then this is spinning the same pretty much as this, okay? So don't be alarmed, it does happen on some machines. You might want to inspect your belt just to make sure that the tension is good and the belt is in good condition. But a little bit of chirping when it first starts to drive the auger is sometimes normal on some machines. Okay, so don't be too alarmed. But that's all I got for you guys today for the belt system, belt drive. Again, I'll have another video on how to adjust the tension on these particular belts, and you can see that upcoming video soon. But once again, guys, thanks a lot for joining me today in the garage. I do hope you enjoy the content. I hope it was informative, and if so, please go ahead and give me a like. And if there's anything I can help you with, you know, go ahead and post a comment down below. Ask your questions. I try to get back to all the questions being asked. Okay, so until next time, guys, thanks again, and take care.